Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. If you're just joining us, I'm Mark Jackson. To my right is Al Snow. And Al, wow, that's cool.
Ford
Weber
Hickok.
College?
Weber,
Ford Hickok.
Weber Warner.
Oh, that was phenomenal. But the Weber Warner footage, who would have thunk? A few years ago that we'd have two college football teams. Looks like we're going to have a third here very shortly with Southeastern. That's good for Polk County. It really is good.
I mean, definitely a little friendly competition between them. I mean, I know that the students really enjoy that, and I think the community that those programs build up will really support it as well.
Fantastic. We can, and we're certainly going to be doing some more, having some more coverage of that, and talking about the impact that's having in Polk County.
Yep. And this segment is sponsored by Best Western Auburndale.
Well, there's an industry that a lot of people really don't know a whole lot about, but it is really cool. It is, in fact, it's unbelievable. If you've never been to a RC, a radio-controlled event before, airplanes, you've got to check it out. And we're going to give you the opportunity to get more information about event. We have a special guest on the show today. He is no stranger to Sports Central because we've had the opportunity to visit with him before, Mr. Frank Tiano with Monster Planes. Frank, thanks so much for joining us. It's good to see you again.
Pleasure is all mine.
Well, we had a little off-air discussion, by the way. Ford Hickok was leaving the studio, and Frank was actually coming in, getting all mic'd up. But Frank actually had to move his event, Monster Planes, a week later than the Lake Mirror Auto Classic, because of the size of both events. So we want to make sure that economic impact and the opportunity to see both events was good, but that was an interesting exchange. I've got one more little tidbit that we'll talk about in a second, but Frank, the event's coming up. Tell us a little bit about the date and what we can expect this year.
It's October 24th, 25th, and 26th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 1 week after Ford's event. And, boy, nobody showed up, No, it wasn't that bad, but it was a definite impact. And we found out that I never realized how big that show is. But anyway, ours is grown as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's our 5th year now in Lakeland. And we get about 250 large airplanes. It's called Monster Planes for a reason. The minimum weight limit for any airplane is 35 pounds. So they're not, that would relate to a wingspan of maybe 8 feet. So that's the smallest thing that's there. Wow. And we have some that come in that are right at the legal limit of 150 pounds now, which are 12, 15 feet airplanes at 500 cc motors. I mean, it's incredible.
Like a chainsaw.
Oh, some of them are multi-cylinder. Oh yeah, like 4-cylinder, 440 cc's, turning a propeller like this big at 5,000 RPM. It has so grown, Mark.
Yeah, and I know you've done a number of events before, and actually my son is a bit of an aviation nut. So I mean, we've gone to a few of your events before, and it's always amazing. I mean, to see the normal jet or RC planes, but once you see those monster planes, I mean, it's, you get some of the little kids standing next to them. I mean, they're bigger than a child, and it's really impressive.
We kind of hope that when people come and see the show, the event, that it may kindle start a little spark. That maybe the young boys will get involved in model aviation. There's very few non-athletic sports or things to do for a youngster today anymore. Everything is electronic, games and telephones. So it'd be nice if they would.
We won't go down that road.
And they see the stuff, and then they maybe go to the hobby shop and they continue.
Well, we're watching some footage right now, Frank, of some of these planes. One looked like, I'm not sure what kind of a bomber it's the twin tail right there. But these things take off on a grass field, and it looked like we had a lipstick camera on this one.
Yes.
There we go. Now, what kind of plane is this?
That's an OV-10 Bronco. That was used in the Vietnam conflict, pardon me, as a spotter observation type airplane, and it carried light ordnance to help ground support somebody who was maybe parachuting on the ground. That's a jet. That's the new YF-22. You can't miss that thing. Yep. That has thrust vectoring. You know what that is, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
That has it. By the way, that runway is a manicured runway, specially put in at the airport for these models.
You call that Paradise Field.
Paradise Field, yes.
Well, the F-22, which we were just watching, I've never seen a plane, I mean a full-size plane, jet, do what this thing can do.
It flips on itself.
I mean, it is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, I'd at some point would just, you know, give whatever to.
You know, it's going to be, sorry, it's coming, you know, it's coming to be fly-by-mind, that airplane. Do you know that?
No.
Yes. They've developed it now where the pilot can think of doing something and the airplane reacts that fast. No longer are the controls in those airplanes cables going to surfaces. Everything's what they call fly-by-wire. That means they put a little resistance in the stick, but the stick really is electronic. So it's a computer making the plane turn, and really crazy stuff going on.
That's
crazy. That's amazing. I mean, how many of these planes are you expecting to have this year?
We get about 105. I'm expecting 105 guys, and they bring multiple airplanes. So we'll have 240 to 260, 250 airplanes.
Wow.
That whole area out there is lined with tents. We have a tent company. They actually rent a tent, and they bring in these buses. It really is cool. It's like a circus almost. You know, it really is cool. We have a candy bomber. We have this 15-foot red airplane that we made Bombay doors in it, this big and this deep, and we filled both of them with candy. We had to learn to use the right kind because the kids were getting beamed. and we fly over and we get the kids all lined up and we make them wait. You know, they're all like, and then we let it go and then we let them all go out there and they're like, and they're picking up the candy everywhere. So we call it the candy bomber. So we have a lot of fun out there.
Oh my gosh, that is some great stuff. Well, you talked about the location at Lakeland Airport in Paradise Field. Where exactly is that from the terminal itself? North, south, east, west?
Actually, I'm glad you asked me that. I wouldn't have thought of it before. It's important that people realize this is not on the airport port. We're not interfering anywhere with traffic. I mean, this is on airport property. It's owned by the airport,
Oh, okay.
City of Lakeland. It's really all the way to Pipkin Road. It's at the very corner of the airport, like, you know, we're like way in the corner, but it's a big area, very long. So the entrance is at gate 36 on West Pipkin Road.
Okay.
Just a little bit past, I think it's the Geico building that's there.
Right.
Heading, whatever, that would be heading west, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. And then you drive in and maybe 500, 600 feet, we have a big parking area, and then,
Okay.
then it's there.
Well, you were talking. I'm going to jump in this one, well, because it's on my mind. But you're talking a little bit earlier off camera about there's a contingent of racing folks that have gotten into and enjoy this type of stuff, including Carl Edwards and some of these others. Tell us about that. I mean, that's unique stuff.
I had no.
If you can.
I can. Well, I can. What I can tell you from eyes on, you know, I met Juan Pablo Montoya. We've become friends. Emails once in a while, text once in a while, you know. And he came 2 years ago, and he's very friendly with one of our sponsors. Yeah. And he was telling me last year, we sat and chatted, that a lot of the big names in NASCAR, many of them, I mean, and I'm not into NASCAR enough to know all the names, but I know some of them. Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnson, his crew chief, the kid that's in I forgot his name. Anyway, they all fly radio control. And they started with trainers like any kid would start today. Yeah. And that's what they do when they're at a track, because they're immense, as you know. Like Daytona's huge. You know, it's long. They actually, not in between racing, but like when they go for practice and it shuts down for the day, they pull out their helicopters and their RC airplanes and they're flying them everywhere. And they do combat with streamers. It's unbelievable. He's telling me, they're really into it. Well, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Right.
They're in a motorhome. They're there. Big wide open space. What do we do? Well, that's what they do. Yeah.
Interesting stuff. There you go, everybody. You first heard it right here on Sports Central, and that's interesting stuff.
I'm sure there's a few dollars passing hands back and forth on those who can
yes.
fly the fastest and who can do the most tricks. I'm sure that those guys, being as competitive as they are, have a good time with it.
Frank, you've got a website, and I know there's a lot of people that are interested in radio-controlled aviation. And they can go to your site, get information not only about the event, but about getting involved. What do you do? You know, and where do I go to get these things? So,
you know, it's something that I didn't know until recently. Lakeland has evidently become the model aviation capital of the world. All the magazines call it that now. Because we have 3 big events here. No other city in the whole country does that. Plus we have Top Gun, which is international.
Oh yeah,
All right?
that's a biggie.
Anyway, the events have become so popular that you don't even have to type in my website anymore. It used to be www.franktiano.com. That's my company's name. Now you just type in Florida Jets and it comes up a bazillion times. YouTube and Top Gun, boom. Monster planes, boom. It's all there. Just remember the name of the event. Type it. That's how popular and how many hits it gets. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world look at this. They can't come. They're in Thailand.
Well, we sure encourage them to come. Yeah. But, well, Frank, we obviously appreciate you coming in, and it's going to be an exciting event. The dates again are?
October 24th through the 26th, Thursday through Saturday.
Okay. And so make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you get an opportunity, take the family out there. You want to get involved in RC aviation, look for Frank. He's not an easy guy to miss. So we're excited about the event. We're excited about you being here. And once again, thank you.
And thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you.